Welcome to another episode of Oh Beach Please Live. As always, I'm your host and owner of 208 Travel Agency, Jay Noller. Now, our agency takes pride in working with our clients to send them to some of the most unique and beautiful destinations in the world. Now, today's guest represents one of my personal favorite places to travel, and I always feel like I'm in the presence of island royalty. Every time I see her on the island, I feel like I just need to bow down and kiss the ring because of her grace and her beauty and her presence. Please welcome to the show the one and only Miss Diane Holland. Diane, how are you doing today?
Oh, Jay, I do feel like if this is what royalty feels like, I am royalty today after that introduction. Oh, yeah.
Well, and I always feel like I never do it justice because of really your background and what you do and how amazing you are and how well you represent what you do. And I'm going to go ahead and let you tell us exactly what you do, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself because I can't do it justice.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see. Where should I start? Well, the only place to start is that this has been my only job ever since. This is my 46th year with the Jamaica Tourist Board. Um, I went into it just as a part-time thing, and of course, never left. Started in Jamaica, got transferred to Miami for a moment, and I've been in California since 1982, marketing the most beautiful destination in the Caribbean.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Jamaica is one of those islands that I keep finding myself drawn back to. But, obviously, as an honorary Jamaican, as I've been told before, really, I'm going to let you kind of take the stage a little bit and tell us kind of a little bit about what makes Jamaica so unique, not only inside of our travel destinations that we have, but also inside of the Caribbean.
Well, Jamaica is beautiful. Don't need to say that. We have beautiful water. The water is only a couple degrees lower than the air temperature. Beautiful scenery, mountains, rivers, everything you can think of in a tropical destination. Yes, there are many other places in the world that vie for that. However, Jay, it's our people that makes Jamaica what it is. It's our blend of cultures from all over the world that came and settled after slavery. And we have adapted a little of everyone's culture and we have made it our own. It's our people that is our richest asset on the island.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, what kind of keeps drawing me back is, from the moment I set foot inside of the airport, to all the people trying to help me find my bags, to get me to the welcome lounges that are at the airport, to get me to the transportation. Everyone is amazing, and I always feel so welcome. I never really feel like I'm traveling. I feel like I'm coming home to see a friend, which is always fantastic. Diane, can you go into a little bit about some of the different resorts and some of the different brands that are on the island? I know, obviously, I got my sandals gear on today, representing properly. But I know there's a lot of other resorts, and if you could kind of just chat a little bit about them, that'd be great.
Yes, Jamaica prides itself with having a variety of accommodations. First and foremost, we have different resort areas. So it's not just one area that you have to go to there. We invite you to see the entire island. We have an accommodation to match every taste and budget, from the low budget to the highest. All inclusives, all inclusive families, all inclusive that geared towards singles, and of course, like sandals, one's geared towards couples. But we have something for everyone, including villas. Villas are like home away from home. So anything you can think of, just a simple accommodation, all the way up to the highest luxury level. We have it in Jamaica.
So you mentioned a little bit, and this is kind of the elephant in the room for a lot of our viewers. You know, we've gotten a lot of comments and questions off of social media about this, and so I wanted to give you a platform to be able to address it directly. And I think you know where I'm going with this is a lot of clients. You know, there was a travel advisory that came out. You know, can you speak to that? Myself personally, I
Mhm.
have taken all the trips. I have taken my family down. I think it's wonderful, but you know, just to give our viewers a little bit of a different perspective, other than what I'm saying.
Well, first and foremost, the Department of State is doing what they're funded to do. They watch the world for its citizens and residents. Everything that happens in the world is their responsibility to report it. So they're not doing anything wrong. Where it makes people get a little twisted is that it's overly, dangerous, not by any stretch of the imagination. Jamaica depends on tourism. It's our bloodline. It's what pays our major bills. We would never have anything happening on island to prevent that happening. We, the Jamaica Tourist Board, a foreign government agency, also operates outside of, well, in the United States under the Department of State. And there's nothing in Jamaica that is preventing people from traveling. We just tell everyone it doesn't matter where you go in the world, outside of your home, any town, any city, any country, don't forget common sense. Jamaica is included in the real world. And Jay, what I always say, why does anyone lock their doors when they leave their home? Why do they lock their cars? Why do they, not adorn a lot of jewelry when going downtown any city? It's just precaution. There are opportunists at times. And to answer your question, Jamaica is fine. Go out, just don't forget common sense. And though there are gates at the hotels, those gates are not there to keep you in. It's for exclusivity. So please, we want you to get out of the hotels. Go and see some of our beautiful attractions. Jamaica has over 150 attractions to explore. So get out. Jamaica is safe. Just don't forget common sense.
I ran across a great little meme.
Mhm.
And it says, you know, at the top of it says, "Is Jamaica safe?" And then it's a decision tree, and it says, "Are you going to join a cartel?" Yes, then yes. Then no, Jamaica's not safe. Please stay home. No, I'm not trying to join a cartel. Then yes, Jamaica's safe. So I always use that, and it kind of goes along with the common sense that you mentioned. As a
Yes.
matter of fact, our 208 travel agency packing list, bullet point number one for our packing list is pack, and it says common sense right there at
Yes.
the very
Yeah.
top. So
Yeah.
and that's regardless if we're going to Jamaica, if we're going to Europe, if we're going to any place. You said a really great line that I want to reemphasize, which is Jamaica's in the real world. The
Mhm.
real world, just because it feels like paradise, just because it feels like you're in your own tropical garden of Eden, um, still the real world. So you still
Yes.
have to be able to take your common sense with you. Um, Now, I am going to put you on the spot a little bit. You mentioned that
That's
there's
okay.
over 150 excursions, activities, everything. I'm going to need your top three. And I know that you're not supposed to play favorites. You've been very, very good. You haven't really mentioned anyone's names or anything, but I am going to ask you for your top three personal excursions that are your favorites inside the island.
Okay. And I'm going to name the ones that are unique to Jamaica.
Love it.
Dunn's River Falls. It's a natural waterfall that cascades like a wedding cake, 600 feet from the top to sea level. You start at sea level, you climb, along with a guide, or if you're sure-footed, you go by yourself. That's one. Next to that is Mystic Mountain. Mystic Mountain is a series of experiences. First, to get to Mystic Mountain, Jamaica is in the tropics. We don't know any temperature below maybe 60 degrees in the mountains. However, you take a ski lift up to the mountain, and while you're there, you can experience the bobsled ride. You know, Jamaica was the first tropical destination to have a team in the Winter Olympics, and you know that very well, Jay.
I
And
do.
so we had to create something to let people know that the bobsled is not for the faint of heart. And one thing you don't do with a Jamaican, never tell we that we can't. So we created a bobsled experience. You can also zip line. It's a number of things that you can do while you're at Mystic Mountain. My other one is rafting down the river. Now that's a calm river on a bamboo raft built with a seat for two. There's a raftsman that pulls you along. For the most part, it's never deeper than around 3 feet deep, but there are parts where he would invite you to get off and swim if you like, or buy a beer from the side of the river. And while he's taking you down, he's telling you everything about the flora and fauna. And knowing us Jamaicans, he's also telling you one of his life stories. So those are my three main experiences that I would encourage everyone that goes to Jamaica to go, see it for themselves.
I'm very excited that you picked those three, because those are three that I'm very familiar with. We took a catamaran down to the falls. We pulled up, jumped out. Amazing photos, amazing videos. Our guide was once again very welcoming and great. I do have a personal connection with the bobsleds up there at Mystic Mountain. As a matter of fact, I believe one of the original Jamaican training sleds is actually still sitting in the Montego Bay airport, and you can go and sit in it, and it's right outside, I think, the bar in one of the terminals.
Yes.
And then I just recently took my family, all 10 of us, the in-laws and the sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and we did the river rafting as well. And what you didn't mention is the constant singing that was going on between all of the different raftsmen, and then the cool little like riverside bars that we jumped out, and even the artistry of the raftsmen. They were actually able to create some really great artistic pieces on the bamboo and everything. It was a wonderful experience for everyone. As a matter of fact, I've even got a great video of my son, who was 8 years old at the time, trying to push the raft down the river himself. And so we had an absolutely amazing time with the family. But it kind of leads me into those are the best things. What's next? What do we have next coming to the island? I know there's an airport expansion that may or may not be done. I know we've got the 007 flight going into Ocho Rios. If you want to speak to those as well, that's always a big topic of discussion. It's just kind of what's next for the island and what do we got coming down the pipe?
Well, that airport, it gained international. It used to be an intra-island plane airport, and it was called Boscobel. Now, since it gained international status, is now the Ian Fleming International Airport. So Jamaica has 3 international airports: one in Kingston, the Norman Manley; Montego Bay, where most of our tourism land, the Sangster International; and now the newest, the Ian Fleming International Airport, just outside of Ocho Rios. It is currently serviced by American Airlines from Miami twice per week. So if you're going to anywhere in and around the Ocho Rios area, you now have the option of the Ian Fleming International Airport. And the Norman Manley International Airport is only an hour and a half from Ocho. So is the Sangster International. So that's one of the newest things. Depending on tourism, the destination is always looking for something new. We have a new hotel opening in June, the Princess brand, just outside of Montego Bay, in between, about halfway to Negril in the west. And also Rio. Rio has a brand new hotel opening in May in the Trelawney area. And, there are some new ones coming down the line. Some have broken ground. And but we're always looking for new opportunities. And, Jamaica is forever looking at new opportunities and new things to make the destination fresh. So anyone who went there 2 years ago, don't think it's the same Jamaica today. There's more. The airport. Oh my gosh, when was the last time you saw the airport, Jay? In Montego?
It was a few months ago, man, but I keep having clients tell me about how much easier it is to get through customs and the new online C5 form and all of that stuff. So if you want to talk about that, that's fantastic. But man, I get fired up about the little things.
I will. The airport is currently under construction, the entrance. So soon that will be finished. And we're always upgrading. And that C5 form that you mentioned, going into any international country, you must have some customs declaration or some immigration form or, entry into the country. Jamaica's, you used to get it on the plane and you write it, usually they give it to you when the plane is descending. Whoever has a pen when they're going on vacation. So you find the same pen starts at the front of the plane and is worked all the way to the back because no one has a pen. So we have made that easier and we have put that form online. So it's called a C5 form and it has to be filled in before you enter the immigration hall. Whether you have a month before you travel to fill it out, up to if you have Wi-Fi opportunities on the plane, you can do it then. This form can be found at enterjamaica.gov.jm. It used to be enterjamaica.com, but somehow they were finding that people are infiltrating and getting on the site and charging people. And Jamaica never charged for anything like that. So it's enterjamaica.gov.jm. Must be done prior to entering. You get a QR code or they have the information on island ready to welcome you.
It just takes one bad person to ruin it for everyone. It was a lot easier, but yeah. And that's definitely one of the pieces of information we include when you book at 208 Travel Agency is we walk you through all of that, all of the immigration forms. And you're absolutely right. One of the things that we used to tell people to do is, make sure you have a pen handy while you're on the plane, because as you're descending, they may or may not pass out pens. You have to borrow from your neighbor. And so we were able to remove that entire section and replace it with that website for all of our clients that are going down to Jamaica. And it's really kind of streamlined the process, and it's just one less thing that you have to worry about because inevitably you're sitting there, you're looking for your passport number. Wait, what flight are we on? Wait, what flight are we on? Like, and especially when you're traveling with kids and then you have to fill out their forms and everything else. Great job with that. And I know the kiosks have been a great upgrade and it's really easy to get through everything. So kudos to for you guys and kudos to the Jamaican government for, the travel down there. We always talk about it is the worst part. and you want to get to where you're going as fast as possible. So we love the fact that the immigration's entire process has been streamlined.
Yes.
One question that I had on my notes here that's on my second screen, you can't see the second screen. It's a surprise question that you don't know about. It goes back to the excursions. I know you know Rick's Cafe, correct?
I do.
When was the last time you jumped off the cliff?
I'm not brave enough, Jay.
What? Come on.
Brave enough. I can go to the lowest level, that's about 5 feet, and I think I can do that. But jumping from that higher level, no. I enjoy watching people do that.
You're only a couple glasses of wine from being able to be talked into
no
going.
Wine. Can't climb me with enough. Nope.
I always one of my favorites when we're at Rick's Cafe, we're listening to the DJs. We've got the professionals that know what they're doing that are just way up high. And then you see, there's some guys off to the side. They've got a couple red stripes in their hand. They start talking a little bit at each other. And, if you go, I'll go. And then inevitably that group ends up jumping off. Diana, I promise you, at least one time for every time I've ever visited, I've seen someone come down, not using the best form. And you just hear everyone on the cliffs. Oh,
yep. The last time I was there, one of my agents did that. She was the only one that decided to do it. And she was just the laugh of the group the entire time. We all laugh together and we still laugh about it. But,
I've got a great video. I need to post it. I actually have a video of me jumping off that top. Because I said, you know what? I've got to do it one time. Even if I totally eat it, got to do it one time, just so I can say that I've done it, because I can't keep telling people that Rick's Cafe is an amazing time, which it is. The sunsets, the catamarans that come down, the cliff jumpers, all of it. Absolutely amazing island experience, only found in Jamaica. I had to do it one time. So I didn't know if you had ever, jumped one time, or if you ever got convinced to be able to do it.
Not brave enough. As clear as that water is, and as inviting as it is, I haven't just yet.
Okay, so now this is the time of the podcast where we're kind of finishing up, and I want to know why I'm important, and I want to feel pretty. So, in your opinion, why should people really continue to rely on travel advisors and travel professionals to be able to go and do these amazing experiences down on your island?
No one should ever book an international travel by themselves. You never. The computer only shows you what they want you to see. What Jay and his agents can see, you can't. And if something happens to, say, your trip on your way, you miss your flights, they cancel the flights, who are you going to call? If something happened, say some disaster, and you can't get through to the airline, you can't get through to the hotel, you have your travel advisor. A travel advisor will interview you and find out exactly what you like. And, computers, again, were made to have rooms look beautiful. Jay and his team will tell you, no, that room is actually not the best room for your fit. He is the one that will put you in the right hotel, the right the right resort area. He is your go-to. He is the one that tells you need to fill out your immigration form before you get to Jamaica. He's the one that tells you about the destination. He's the one that reassures you that a trip is like vitamins. You must take them, but it's almost impossible. A trip can be booked online, but a vacation must be booked through Jay.
Um, Diane, just so you know, I'm probably going to start giving out your phone number to every single person that contacts me because that's the best delivery of why to use a travel agent. So thank you very much.
It's
We talk
important.
about it all the time. Our job is to go experience things, and then we match your personality and expectations to the resort,
Exactly.
even inside the chain, because a like Sandals Royal Plantation experience is not the same as a Sandals Montego Bay
Exactly.
experience.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for those kind words. We really appreciate it. And,
Yes.
you know, going back to a little bit of experiences and everything and why the island of Jamaica is so amazing. Diane, I don't know if I've told you, but we have been booking Jamaica. As I mentioned before, I just got off the phone with one of my agents. We were booking another thing. Jamaica is phenomenal for hosting groups. Now,
Mhm.
Diane, I haven't told you this yet, but we actually have a murder mystery group going down to Sandals
Ooh.
Ochi, where
Ooh.
I am going to release my inner thespian and I am going to perform on the stage.
No.
And I hate to tell you, Diane, not to ruin the story, but I am going to be killed on stage. And that is the murder mystery. And we're there. And then for 4 days, we're going to try to figure out who was mean enough to slay me. We've also got a a pickleball group going down. We just had a wine and women's group go down, which was phenomenal. We've got a CEU group for some folks that are going down as well. I constantly come back to the island of Jamaica just because everyone is so fantastic and we can do all of these groups. It really is a truly amazing island and very unique inside the Caribbean.
Thanks so much, Jay. You just paid it back.
You
You
know,
just paid it back.
it is absolutely the least I can do. So, Diane, I want to thank you again. Thank you so much. I know your schedule is incredibly busy. She's all over the place. We were just talking about all the different areas inside of the U.S. where she's going to be going and spreading the love
Mhm.
to all of the different locations in the U.S. So, on behalf of Miss Diane Holland from the Jamaica Tourist Board, my name is Jay Noller, owner of 208 Travel Agency, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the island. Take care.
Thanks, Jay.